So here we are, lesson 3. We've already created our mortise and tenon. So what we're going to do is we're going to clamp our tenon into our chuck. And now on this lesson, we're going to prepare and shape the bottom of our bowl. First things though, I want to put a tram line in my base just so I know where I'm going to go to give me a defined line, and then we can start shaping our bowl on how far we want to be. So if you haven't already, create a tram line using the skew just to give you a defined line like so, and then we can get the bowl gouge and start to create some shape on our bowl. Now we're going to do some pull cuts to start with, so we're going to hold our handle low, keep in contact with our gouge onto our tool rest, which is A. We're going to ride the bevel slightly, which is B, and then we're just going to lift the handle slightly to give us our cut, which is C. So we're just going to use the wing. We're using this sharp edge here of the gouge to create our cut. So we're going to get a nice gentle passes in. Don't need to be aggressive. Nice sharp gouge will do all the cutting. So we're just going to gently bring that bowl in or shape in, keeping our tool rest as close as we can to our piece to give us as much stability as we can get. If you're too far over the tool rest, then the gouge will try and jump and jerk all the time, and we don't want that. We want a nice continuous fluent flow in motion. I'll bring you on to there so you can see the shape we're going to do. So just going to do a couple of little push cuts now. Now you can do it however you want to do it. We will go through more of this on the night. So I'm just basically pushing cuts this just so I can remove this outside edge. And as you can see, we're not up to our tram line yet. So we're going to bring that into the tram line to make sure we get a nice even cut. So gradually going to bring that into our tram line. I'm going to use the nose of the gouge just to run inside that tram line and buff that up against our little foot. And then we're just going to drag that around to give us that continuous shape. Now there's several different shapes you can have. You can either have a shape that I'm doing here, which is a continuous shape, or you can have the OG shape, which I will take a picture of and put up on the screen anytime now, so you can see what the OG is. And it's down to you what shape you go for. As a new turner, try not to get into that what we call dog bowl situation where it's just square edges with a nice tight corner in the bottom. It's harder to do that, to clean out in the bottom corner, than it is to actually do a bowl like this, because getting down into that deep corner is really awkward. So we're just gently bringing that shape round. As you can see, we've got a nice continuous shape like so. So that's our shape. See a nice little foot here that we're going to try and keep. And then we've got the flowing edge of the bowl, continuous, trying to get that continuous flow in the bowl on our side. So we've got a nice flowing shape. So that's it. That's this lesson. Ready for the next lessons, which will be sanding up. Ready for our final finish. What I thought I'd do is I'd show you the OG shape as well. This is only a narrow piece. Should be fine with it, but we'll do exactly the same principle as we did with the first one. So this is, again, we're going to bring in our tram line in the bottom of our piece, so we've got somewhere to go to for our little foot. Just like that. Going to get our bowl gouge, and we're going to start bringing some shape in with some pull cuts. So with an OG shape, we're sort of coming from the top round and down and back in. So we're going to try and bring that shape in as we're cutting it. So we're just going to bring the nose of our tool in, run along our tram line against our little foot. Then we're just going to curve this little bit here. So we've got a little bit of a round coming into the bottom of our bowl, like so. And then we're going to take this here, we want this a little bit wider here on the OG, so we're just going to ride that out a little bit and push that out. So a nice little push cut in there, and that just gives us that OG shape. So as again, we can go a little bit higher than that because a little bit of the wood is a little bit thicker. So we can bring our OG just a little bit higher up and then bring it out. Like so. So let's go on the overhead so you can see. So that's the, no, not that one. This one. So you can see there, nice OG shape. So you can see it's bulged out, come in, swooping out. And if you put them side by side, depending on what bowl you're turning, and if you want a wide rim on your bowl, then OG is nice because it steps that in so you can get the wide rim on the top. But that's the other style that we did. So that's just rough turned. Let's just do a final finishing cut on there so we get a nice smooth finish, and then we'll get them out and compare the two together. So final cut, let's go down to a smaller bowl gouge. So just a final cut, just a nice little passing cut, just take a little shiver off, trying to get the best we can on the tool. Not pushing too hard, just gently rubbing that bevel. Don't want to be rubbing it too hard because you'll just end up with it bouncing. All we're doing is just putting a nice finishing cut on there. So let's just stop that, have a look, and then we will compare the two together. Like I say, it's your preference on how you would like your bowl to look. Some people like the OG, some people like the normal. I don't mind either. If I was doing a piece of decorating on the top there, I would have an OG shape because then I could take my bowl inside and that gives me a little bit of wall there. But it's down to the individual and the preference. But if you put them side by side, you can see the differences. Sometimes this looks more graceful than this, but it's down, like I say, it's down to your preferences. So anyway, there we go. OG, normal bowl, outside finished, ready to be sanded and finished.